Good morning, everybody. We are going to be starting with the Rainbow Six meeting here in just a few minutes. It's going to be down in the conference room on the other side of the lobby. So if you want to go ahead and start working your way down direction, I want coaches and players to be a part of that so you get all the information before we get started with the day. Good morning, everybody. We are going to be starting with the Rainbow Six meeting here in just a few minutes. Everybody that is playing Smash Brothers, we're going to be having the morning meeting for that title here in just a few minutes. So if you want to head down to the other side of the lobby, the conference room on the left-hand side, head on in there and we'll do our meeting and then get started with those matches.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the IAHSEA Fall Championship for Rainbow Six Siege. My name is Nathan Rodemeyer, aka Coach Roadblock, and we are here as part of the Marshalltown Community College esports crew, both our athletic and academic students, and we have been invited to broadcast this fantastic championship. So with me today, we have
Everyone's favorite goat, Wonderful Goat 17.
And Prologue GM.
and we are looking forward to an excellent series of matches today. We have our first setup, guys. Who are we seeing first here?
Well, we do have Centerville versus West Delaware.
All right, and what are we expecting here? What map we have first?
We do have Oregon.
Interesting map there.
Any thoughts on Oregon? I know we've been practicing a little bit prologue. What do you think about Oregon as a map?
It's a really fun map, and the only problem I have with this map is the middle floor, and it's really the hardest one to take over.
Absolutely, right? You see a lot of teams get really comfortable playing second floor, places like the kids' dorms, the attic, that sort of thing, and then basement. People just have basement on lockdown. But it is that middle floor that's got the kitchen, that's got the meeting room, that can give teams a little bit of trouble.
Now, what are your thoughts on that, Goat?
I mean, it's definitely an interesting map. Like you said, the middle floor it's interesting, I'd say. But honestly, I don't know how you would approach this map. Like, how would you, like, if you're going to get in this, I don't know how you would get in, because the middle floor, like you said, is not a good. So do you come in through the roof or the basement? I think the team needs to decide that.
A heavy place that I've seen people take is the large tower. It is a fast way to get in, and it's easy to clear out people that are attacking.
Absolutely, and Large Tower also has options for you to go both upstairs and downstairs. So if you can take that, it's a great place to enter on almost any bomb site. The problem is, Big Tower is also a notorious spawn peeking spot. You will often have a defender sitting up in Large Tower waiting for somebody to approach.
Now, spawn peeking is quite a big thing that happens in this game. What do you think about that, Goat?
I think spawn peeking, honestly, is something like, I don't like when people spawn peek, but if it's my team, it's one of those things like, if you get spawn peeked, it's a little upsetting, but if your team spawn peeks, you're okay with it.
And
you're not gonna affect it.
why does spawn peeking matter so much in Siege?
It really gives you those early picks to break the balance of the game, and you will have the game in your favor on defense.
Absolutely right, because in Siege, your character does not respawn until the start of the next round. So it is going to start as a 5v5, but if you can pick somebody off in the first 3 seconds and it becomes a 4v5, if you've broken parity, if you have more players than the other team does, that is a huge advantage.
And now that takes apart from the team balance. Team balance is really heavily needed because you'll have a hard breacher who will need EMPs to take out the walls, but if your person with EMPs dies first, then you might not be able to hard breach.
Absolutely, and you have teams build entire strategies around hard breaching walls, opening those up with a Thatcher or with an EMP charge. And so, yeah, you have to adapt on the fly if your hard breacher or your EMPs go down.
So I think that, like you said, it can make it harder to do if it's a 4v5. So you really got to hope that if you do have someone get spawn peek, your teamwork there has to step it up, because you cannot still have that, okay, it's tied here, we can play a little past fear. No, you may have to up the aggression because you are down, so you need to go a little more aggressive. And then if you go down to 3v5, you have to go full aggressive. You need to go in because it's not looking good for you. You might as well give it your all.
Right. You find yourself in a 2v5, a 1v5 situation. In practice, we've talked about you full send it, right? That's a round you are probably going to lose anyway, especially if it's a 1v5. You are not meant to win that round at that point, so you go all in and see if you can pull off something amazing. And every once in a while, magic happens, and you see someone clutch a 1v4 or 1v5.
And I hope we see one of those today.
Absolutely. Now, if you were playing this map on attack, Carter, what site would you prefer first for attacking?
Me, myself, I would usually go for basement first. I really prefer being hunkered down in the basement, knowing we could have 1 or 2 people roaming, taking out the people that are taking out upstairs.
Absolutely. I tend to flip the other way. When I'm playing, I tend to prefer going upstairs first, right? And you'll typically see that. We'll have to see if they go basement first, they go upstairs first. Maybe they'll throw us for a loop and go first floor, but we'll have to see where they go. Oregon used to be a really defender-sided map, and then they reworked it, and now it's one of the most balanced maps, in my opinion, one of the most balanced maps in the game. and it's going to be a great match to see.
Now, the interesting part about the basement on this map is there's actually an outside entry point directly into the basement. What are your thoughts on that, Goat?
I mean, there is that interesting part, but I'm gonna have to disagree with both of you on where to put the map. I'd say put it on the first floor just because you can watch. And we do have the last player, so we now do have all 10 players ready for this game 1.
All right. So what we'll be looking for in the chat is a confirmation from our players or one of the coaches that they are ready to begin. And we got the thumbs up.
We are ready as we get this match started.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Iowa High School Esports Association Fall Championship as we get underway with Game 1.
And now this is technically game 2 of the day.
It is.
Indeed it is.
So we are on the ban phase now. And
Who-
Centerville is banning no, they
No,
are actually
West
banning
Delaware.
second.
Who do you think they should ban here, with it being Oregon?
Usually you will see a heart breach ban or something along the lines of EMPs.
I'm thinking Thatcher comes out here.
I'm thinking Thatcher.
Oh, a
Jackal.
Jackal ban.
Yeah, the thing about
Interesting.
Jackal, he can track people based on their footprints, and it's a really easy way to get intel on enemy
We lost a player.
locations. We did lose a player.
It looks like.
So we will let this play out. Now, what may likely happen is you may
There's
do a reset
Thatcher.
of the lobby. Typically, when this happens, you'll do a reset of the lobby. You require that the map and the bans go identically to how they were before, right? You can't do any sneaky counterplay now that you've seen the bans come out. So we'll let this process continue. We'll hear from one of the coaches over there, see what's going on. But we've seen a Jackal ban, now a Thatcher ban.
And Clash.
Clash is quite a suppressive operator when people are trying to get into the building. Clash can really hold people back and slow them down to get easy picks on them.
Clash is probably my least favorite operator just because she's one of those that it's super hard to get and she can hurt you and you can't get to her.
Ooh, and an alibi
Alibi.
ban.
I've never seen an alibi ban before. That's an interesting ban there.
Now, I think this ban might have happened. Maybe this team has a little bit of difficulty going up against Alibi, so they just want to get it off the table.
Yeah. And, you know, Alibi is a really hot pick right now in Siege because she's got an excellent gun. She's got a good gadget, both for throwing off the enemy and also for denying entrance to some spots. She has a deployable shield. So Alibi brings a lot of utility to a team, so much so that Ubisoft is actually going to be removing her scope in the next season.
It's quite interesting. Ubisoft has been on a whole thing about removing certain characters' scopes because their guns are too powerful.
But since we did lose a player, it looks like that they will be down now. Centerville will now be down that 4-5, so now they immediately go to that. They have to play a little more aggressive here.
So what are we watching here? What's going on in this first minute or so?
So we have West Delaware setting up in the basement, it seems. And now that's interesting. I said that I preferred the basement, and it seems like they would as well. They would have to go for a lot of reinforcement in specific areas. They really have to worry about those stairs and entrances through the basement.
But as you see, that Centerville is on their drone, so now they are trying to figure out where is Bomb A or Bomb B, if not both. And as you see, it looks like that they got one of their drones destroyed last second, as now they are on the action phase going in, and it does not look like they know where either one of the bombs are.
And now it seems like they're going straight in without much droning. I think they have their drones in specific spots to check it out.
Listen, you see, as all the team is clumped together there, and it looks like they have lost another player. Interesting here, and now another one. They are down to a 2v5. What is happening with Centerville's team?
It seems like they
and now
might be
they
doing
all
a
have
new
left.
lobby to get everybody back in because of connection errors.
Oh.
And the game seems to be ending now.
The defenders have won.
And the game is over. Interesting poster on the screen right now. And we will be restarting the lobby here.
Hey, do you remember what the keybind is for going into first person mode? What button do you hit on the keyboard? The numbers. To actually go into their first person? V. Oh. Austin saying it's V. V.
So it seems like we will be restarting the lobby
A
here.
little bit of give to you there.
And we are getting the settings set back up. We did have a little bit of connection issues. We're going to get the keybind set up so we can get better visuals on the players. So, while we're at it, let us talk about our players for today.
Good idea there, Prologue. Let's first talk about Centerville.
Now, Centerville has a 5-1 record. They've only lost to North Tama.
Dang, that's pretty good though. Only losing to one team. That means they must have pretty good teamwork there. The game.
And it is quite interesting, as we do have a little bit of more information about West Delaware as well. Their head coach is currently the IAHSEA president, the whole thing that we're doing right now. And he's competing in all 3 fall titles: Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Rainbow Six Siege, and League of Legends.
That's definitely a lot for one coach to do, but he seems to do it well.
Must be good with teamwork and keeping people together.
Well, so he must have a bigger team though, because those definitely they require a decent amount of players each one of those games. So they must have a pretty decent sized team.
They must. League of Legends, I think, has 5 players. Is it?
I
And
believe it is.
Super Smash Brothers is going to have a bunch of individual players playing.
That's my wallet.
And we did have a wallet fall from the sky here. All right.
It's on the floor.
And we're hearing cheering from
Can we
around
explain to
for
our
Super
viewers what's
Smash
happening here
Brothers.
with the game lobby?
Yeah, we are having a little bit of difficulty, so they had to kick everyone out because one of the players seemed to have a little bit of technical difficulty there, and then they decided to restart the lobby. But the bans will remain the same. You cannot change
Yeah,
those.
the bans need to remain the same. I'm sure both coaches know that. So when they launch back in, we'll be seeing that Jackal the Jackal Thatcher Flash, and who's the last one?
Alibi.
Alibi ban. That's right. So interestingly enough, that means that we're not seeing any hard breach bans, and we're not seeing any like wall denial op bans. You know, you'll often see something like a Kaid or a Bandit or sometimes a Mute get banned just because that wall control is so important. But it looks like they'll have full options to run any of those.
I'm thinking maybe Centerville is confident in their entry strategies to not have to worry about wall denial.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they're feeling good enough that they say, look, even if they take the wall, we're going to be fine. So.
Now, Go, you were on our Siege team for a little bit there. Do you have a lot of game knowledge on Rainbow Six Siege?
I'd say I have a decent amount. Probably not as much as some of the other people there, but I definitely have a decent amount though. I've been playing Siege for a very long time, so I'd say yeah.
And now, we were talking a little bit before we started up, but what is your favorite operator?
For attack, I'd say it's definitely Sledge, just because it's the easy, get those easy rotations in, take down the walls, and then the more you can see as an attacker, the better. And then for defense, I'd say it's Pulse, because his heartbeat monitor, if used right, can definitely win you games perfectly.
Now, I really like Sledge for opening up floors. Floors are a big part of this game to get easy picks on people who can't really see where the bullets are coming from.
Absolutely. Sledge is one of my favorite picks as well for the exact reasons that you guys mentioned here. So, just a really great operator all around. He's also one of the few attackers that still has frag grenades, right? And frag grenades are one of the most important gadgets in the game. And it looks like we have a full lobby again, boys.
We are starting the match up again. Now, we will go through the ban phase again. Same bans.
And we will hope and pray that nobody gets dropped from the lobby.
That is what we're hoping. No game crashes or connection issues.
And again, they do need to adhere to the previous bans that were set up. So we should see a Jackal ban coming in first.
All right, they do keep it the same.
Good. Next, that means we should be seeing a Thatch.
Now I'm thinking, do they have to go basement again as their selection?
Yes, they should also be going basement again for their first site.
So it seems like they probably will have wall denial in
well,
the basement.
We'll see, because going basement now gives that attacking team a little bit of intel going in. Now, to be fair, attackers can also repick, right? So even if they scout that they're going to a different site, it'll be fine. So I'd imagine we will see the basement site set up again, but we'll have to see. The bans have to stay the same. I don't know if the site setup. Oh, interesting. That's not the same. Now, as long as the coaches are fine with that, there's no real issue. But typically what you'll see is recreating the lobby exactly as it was.
Now,
Is that allowed to change the operator?
As long
though?
as the two teams are in agreement, yes. So as long as we don't hear any commotion, then it's okay if they do that.
Picking
All right.
Mira as a ban is quite interesting. Mira is a very heavily used operator in competitive play.
And honestly, Mira's a much better choice for ban here than Clash is.
Definitely.
Now, the only time you ever have to worry about Clash is when you have a person on the other team who actually knows how to use Clash. And we are going upstairs dorms and kids' dorms as well.
It's also possible that some of this, because the lobby was dropped and they knew they were going to reset, that some of the timers just went out and they weren't actually picking some of these. So I don't know. Again, as long as the teams are in agreement about what they're doing, we're fine.
So we do have wall denial pick here as Kaid and Thunderbird for healing options. And recently buffed a Rook who can pick people up with his own armor plates.
So we did see there that the Rook went to place his armor plates and accidentally shot his gun instead.
It's quite an easy input to do.
Ooh. I think they were hoping that the Valve cannon was going to be under the table.
Interesting spot if that would have worked, though. Now, this wall in the attic is quite an integral entry point on the upstairs dorms. It's the main point that you can get in and take over the entirety of the upstairs.
5 seconds to insertion.
Now, usually you would see a shield put in attic, but I don't think we have anybody who can get a shield in there.
It looks like that WD asked went by something and it did a little damage to him there. Already a little bit of damage taken off, so that definitely
I think
can.
somebody accidentally pinged a teammate with an impact grenade.
Now we do have Blackbeard on attack as well as Finka. Finka can pick up teammates when down from a distance.
Definitely can be very big to help them make or break a game.
And we also have 2 soft breaching operators, so they might have an entry strap. And we
Big
do have a
team
team
kill.
kill for West Delaware. Quite an interesting
there.
thing that happened now.
Could have been an accidental shooting there.
Or maybe they even wanted a little bit more difficulty.
As you see, that West Delaware is already down 2 now because of that team kill and the kill there, but they do get 1 back.
Quick trade. And we have E-Red's 74 taking on somebody through the window, getting healed by Finka.
I love how Finka's range though. She doesn't even have to buy it. She can just use her ability and it gives everyone that little bit of extra health.
And so we have Buck a little bit farther from death now.
And we see Buck and Thermite both trying to apply pressure on the same site from different locations.
And it seems like Blackbeard ran into a Capcan trap and took half damage. And Buck is really low.
See what happens here, because there's someone in here, and
Are we going to
looks
see
like
a West Delaware turnaround on this round?
And
no,
we see
and it looks like
Blackbeard
that
take a kill.
E-Reds does kill Y.
Attackers activating the
Ooh.
And a quick trade there.
We're down to a 3v1.
We do see diffuser down, so the Thermite is basically just babysitting the diffuser from outside. Got a
And he does
drone
take out
watching it.
75, so now we're down to a 2v1.
Valk feeling a
Needs
lot
to
of
come
stress
back here. Knocks once, now it's down to a 1v1.
Peek in the window.
He knows where the enemy's at, but he has no other option but to go for this diffuse.
Or hop out the window and get the kill.
Oh!
And he is down.
It's going to be an attack round.
So it seems like Centerville will take the first round of the game.
That was actually a really close round.
That
Ended up being a
definitely was.
1v1.
It was a 3v1 there. And West Delaware was taking it back.
It immediately started out with the team kill by West Delaware, and then Centerville taking one, so it was a 5v3, and then West Delaware almost made the comeback there, but Centerville pulled it out in the end.
We're seeing a lot of similar picks here. A switch up to Doc 2 times.
Nope.
Oh,
Back
switch
to
back to
Rook.
Rook.
And it does look like defense is going to try retaking Kids Dorm. They're going to take the same site they did before. And, you know, with a round as close as that was, I don't know why you'd switch up.
No. Looks like they will switch and bring Sledge in now. As we talked before, he's definitely a good attacking operator. Exactly, and Dokkaebi. So without close to before, you'd think keep it the same, but they decided to
Prologue,
switch
what
it
do you
up.
think about the Blackbeard pick?
The Blackbeard pick is really helpful. I mean, he does have 2 face shields which protect from headshots, but if people are more prone for body shots, it can really work against him.
Absolutely. I mean, Blackbeard used to see a lot of play when he first came out. He was straight up broken. His shield had a ton of HP. They've since tuned him way down, and he's become a very, very situational pick. But in a game that is all about headshots and taking one person out in one hit, that shield can be a lifesaver, literally.
Now,
That Centerville has found the bomb now, so they have that little bit of more of intel.
we do have a Jaeger this time. They must have seen that grenades might have been an issue last round. And even we have a Legion now, another trap operator. Even though they did run into a Capcan trap, maybe Capcan traps could have worked again this round.
See, Blackbird equipping that shield that we just talked about. He used to have so much HP, but now situational.
And a quick spawn. Oh no, we got a kill from Centerville on West Delaware.
Well, that was almost a counter spawn peek situation. Maybe Wen was going for the spawn peek and got peeked himself.
That is true. Spawn peeking is a double-edged sword.
It's like now throwing in just like those flashbangs.
Taking the effects of the Jaeger.
And what we're seeing here is Centerville is going really heavily on what's called big window here, which is one of the easiest ways to enter site, but it's also one of the most contested. Ooh, and we got another pick.
Accidental flashbang on the teammates here. And we get another kill from Centerville on West Delaware.
We're now down to a 5v1.
Can West Delaware clutch this out?
Say, can this rook get it? And it looks like he is down, and that'll be it.
Centerville,
round.
flawless round, and it was a knife kill at the end after the down.
If you're West Delaware, what do you got to change here? Because now you're down 2 going into round 3.
I think it would be smart to switch up sites, because at this point, they've already taken the site twice. They would know how to take it a 3rd time, so they should switch up.
And they
it
do.
seems they're going laundry room, supply room. That is basement, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely it is. So we'll see what they set the defense up here. If this one is traditionally a very site-heavy defense. You have most of the defenders down in the basement. We'll have to see if West Delaware sticks to that model. If we look at the attacking side, any mix-ups there in their lineup?
So we have Zofia this time. Zofia is so it seems that eRed73 is really into using soft breaching characters, and that can prove to be helpful to open up soft walls that are not reinforced.
Looks like another change out. They do have Habana in there now.
They do.
Interesting there. And then if you look on defense, looks like they added Smoke and Melusa down too, that they switched that up.
So now they have no wall denial, which
No.
would make it easier for Centerville to get into sight.
And you do see that they went with the smoke pick, which smoke is almost a given on the basement site. You'll typically see smoke set up behind a deployable shield in what they call elbow. So there's this corner right next to the entrance of site and basement, and you'll usually have a smoke on that shield, usually with that Jaeger ADS as protection.
And now we are on to the action phase here.
As you see, they did add those shooting the top of the wall, so then you can throw the explosives, the flashbangs, all that through there as an opponent walks by. Maybe stick a camera up there so you can see it, and then because like I said, if you can see the other team before they can see you, it's going to help you.
We do see them going for that blue push or construction.
And this is an interesting push. This can really make or break the whole push here, as the moment they walk in here, they have multiple possible spots that they can get shot from. But if they do take it, they will have a nice section taken.
Let me get a kill right off the bat, though. So it looks like 74 does kill win.
Centerville is up 5-4. They just got to play it safe here as they take another kill. Killed WD Who.
Looks like there is a Melusi trap right around the corner that they're not able to clear from the angle that they have.
They will be taking out the hatch. Seems like we have, it would be Smoke, I think, who ran past the wall that they were shooting through. Interesting
That's
play
the case.
there.
That means he's given up that elbow control.
That would be an interesting thing, because elbow control can definitely be a big part of this site, especially. Giving it up, though, is, I'd say, not the move for you to do there.
Seems like Centerville also is going for stair control as we have a gunfight going here.
Now Candace loosely pull out. She knows where the attackers are at. She's taking some pot shots. Oh, they can't even play elbow. They've walled it off completely.
Interesting there. As you do see that it is now 4-3. So West Delaware did even the odds up a little bit more, but they are still down one person.
As they are going to hard breach this wall here, which will give them a little bit more entry into sight.
You know, they said, look, you guys aren't going to play elbow, we'll open it up for you.
It seems like sight might be clear on B as Centerville gets another kill on West Delaware.
And the diffuser is dropped, so it looks like maybe he was knocked there. And now it's a 4v1. This is not looking good, and that'll be another win there for.
Now, usually in a situation like this, you do not want to go for the kills, but I see that they did seem confident in getting this kill.
Yeah, you know, one of the things we've always talked about, right, is when you're up, you play conservatively, you play smart, and as a defender, all you have to do is waste time. Now, granted, this is the attacking team. They do have to make the plays. They only have 2 options for winning, which is wipe the enemies off the board or get that diffusers down. And so, yeah, I agree with you. They were playing confident. They were, what, up 4-1, and they said, let's go get this kill.
So now we do have Clash in play, which was banned last time, but they did switch it up. So maybe they will take this to their advantage.
We also see a Goyo pick.
They might want to take control of the hall by blowing up the Goyo traps.
Goyo's not an operator you see used very much in play. Just make sure that there's West Delaware just point out any operator now just to figure out what is going to work. Because down 3 now, you definitely need to pull out something. Because if I remember right, it is best of 10. So if Centerville wins 3 more, that is game.
That is game. Now, we've seen this in our own play. You know, it takes 1 round going in your favor to cause a huge momentum swing. So if West Delaware can catch a good round, then they may pull this game back yet.
So as we can see, we have a fuse on Centerville now, which is an interesting pick, which can really take out a lot of the defender gadgets. We see that we are switching to two whole hard breachers.
Yeah, they've included both Hibana and Thermite, which is pretty typical for this specific setup. And the defending team, look at all those traps.
They're really trying to rig up sight to get a quick win here. Did we get a quick kill at the beginning? Or, oh no, we do have a little error on the screen there.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's alive, but the score reads 4-5. We don't have a disconnect that hasn't shown up yet, have we?
I do not think so, no.
We're going to roll with it.
But like you said, with the defenders having a bunch of traps, though, that's definitely something they need to do. Being down 3, they need to figure out any way possible. So they need to use a bunch of traps to stop Centerville from getting in there and getting this 4th round win. You got to do it. You got to do whatever it takes.
We do have Ash here opening up as many walls as possible. Sights of entry and quick picks to get.
You hear some cheering from Smash in the background.
As you see there, Clash, using her shield. That is why I think that she's such an annoying operator to play against, just because that she has her shield she can electrify, and you can't shoot through it. So you got to find a way to get behind her. So you're going to need another teammate to try to bait her out, and then someone swing from behind.
Now, an easy counter to the Clash would be Cali, but I do not think they saw that they had a Clash on their team.
Absolutely. You know, Clash is one that frustrates a lot of new players because they don't know how to counter, but a Cali would work, a Nomad would work, an Ally, as Goat said, would work.
As we get 2 kills on each other, one burned up in a Goyo flame.
We gotta be careful for the TK here.
We do need to
Did
stop.
enter a line of fire.
We always see angles that are being held at the same time, and that is not a good thing to do, as you can accidentally team kill your teammates.
And you can definitely be prepared for the same angle, and
Wayne
what they
does
would
dig
set up
outside
what's called a
before.
trade, but you definitely want to make sure you're not actively watching it both and cause that TK situation.
As Frost is down, this could even up the score here. Frost is a very...
And
Ooh,
Frost
Frost
is-
dies. Frost is a very helpful operator on the side, as there are a lot of tricky spots you can put them on for people to not know.
But as you see, if you look at on the side of West Dellaware's 2 now dead players, they immediately went to cams. As you're down, you can still went to cams, so you need to get that intel to tell your teams. But now they are down 3-1, just to who? So we wonder, what do you do here?
We've seen a situation like this before. You could possibly see a pull-off by West Delaware.
This is what we've seen in every round so far, that West Delaware gets down to one person who's forced to clutch the situation.
diffuser is planted though, so now and that will be the end of round 4. Centerville definitely playing phenomenal right now, shutting down West Dilla now 4 rounds in a row.
They took 2 rounds, and game 1 will be in the bag.
Now we do have West Delaware going upstairs again.
They
Now-
really like that second floor site.
Now, if they can get a good rhythm here, they could really hold it. But I think the thing that's holding them back is they're too far spread apart.
Absolutely. They need to be able to play in a situation where if one of them dies, they have an ally who's ready to trade.
And we are going with a very similar setup. Valk, Rook, Legion, Smoke, and Moyo. But on attack, we also have a very similar setup. Now, Dokkaebi is a really helpful character here, which will give away the enemy's sight. And recently, buffed, she can block off dead teammates checking cameras.
As Goat was saying, you know, when you die in Siege, the game is not over. You want to hop on those cameras. You want to give that intel to your teammates. So if Dokkaebi can call you while you're on those cameras and interrupt that line of sight, that is a huge, huge play.
So now what we have here with Smoke is using the shotgun with the secondary SMG, which usually would be used as the meta for Smoke, as he can blow out walls and rotates with the shotgun and have a very good secondary that can kill off enemies.
Attackers must locate and defuse.
Now we are in the action phase.
As you need to see it toward the end of that round, they did add quite a few rotations there. So you really, West Dilla needs to make these rotations. They need to find a way to stop Centerville. This is getting more and more important as each round goes by. You need to stop them, because if they do it 2 more rounds, that's the end.
And now I think they were preparing to go into the basement, but they did find out that they are upstairs. And that window that is on the dorms is a really good spot to get quick picks from if you're rappelling at a proper angle.
Like you said, it did look like they were in the basement, then switched up. That was some nice teamwork there for like, oh, we're going to the basement, no, let's switch. They're not in basement, so they switched it up, and they end up taking out WD1.
Centerville's up, and there is Valk down, getting picked up. Getting picked up by the Rook armor.
You know, when they added the Rook armor's ability to lift you up off the floor, it was seen as a controversial pick, but we haven't seen it shift too many games yet.
As we get 2 picks by eRed77.
A 5v2 now, barely into the match. Now, of course, it looks like they might even up a little bit here.
2 quick picks by WD Who.
And if we look at the scoreboard over here on the left, you know, the people on that Centerville team that they really need to take off the board, it's that Finka and it's that Sledge. They're both sitting at 6 kills after 4 rounds. And Sledge picking up a 7th.
And we do have Centerville winning the round.
So this could be match point if West Delaware does not beat Centerville here.
Now, this is also a crucial point, right? Because now we're seeing that role swap. So West Delaware is on the offensive now. Centerville had a flawless attack round. If West Delaware can flip around and also have a flawless attack round, then we're going to be going into overtime.
Now, usually you see defense winning, but this time around we do have attack winning more often. What are your thoughts on that, Goat?
It's definitely interesting there because Centerville definitely have a good, instead of like we talked about, oh, you're up, play a little more, less aggressive. No, they went aggressive the whole time, and it played off perfectly for them, which is something you don't see very often because defense, like you said, usually win because you have this one area you have to guard, find this little peak hole you can sit at and take out the opponent. But it looks like
Defenders,
the
protect
Centerville
your bombs
did not allow it to happen
by
and
attackers.
immediately stopped every attempt they had tried to do.
Now, it seems like West Delaware is bringing in Oso, which is an interesting pick here, since she does have see-through shields, 2 of them to be exact. And you can place them on windows, on the ground, anywhere you really need them, and it can use as a form of protection when you're planting the diffuser.
Another big smash round.
Smash is getting really hyped on the other side of the room here.
My old Williamsburg team letting out the cheers over there. I think they got sent to the loser bracket, but then must have had a good match there.
Now we do have a Caballero, which is an interesting character pick here since roaming is usually needed and Cav is a dedicated roaming character.
And that Caveira, I think, indicates to us that Centerville is playing with confidence, right? They are confident that they can pick off a lone West Delaware player and get that intel from
And
her
it looks like
interrogate.
they did. A 74 does take out Y, having that 5v4 lead right away.
Seemed like a quick spawn peek there. Now we do see that Osa has intel that there are people behind this wall. Going for quick shots here. Possibly getting a quick headshot could really turn this around.
Absolutely. So you're West Delaware right now. You know that they're down in the basement. You're down 1. What's the play? How do you bring this back?
I think the way to go in, teams of 2 and just one singular person going off on their own, getting quick picks while the other team is distracted. Now we have Centerville knowing that Osa is here, and it seems like Osa is playing out time while the other people go inside to plant. As West Delaware gets a kill on Centerville.
Tying this right back up.
And the one that went down is Doc. It is eRed73, who's sitting at the top of the kill scoreboard right now. So taking him off the board is huge.
Looks like that. Now 77 take out 2. He's on a double kill. Looks like that 76 takes out what? So now it's a 4v1. Centerville looking real comfortable right now. As Mozzie is knocked.
We have team shots on each other. And Centerville wins the round.
Centerville will win the game as well because they 6-0'd West Delaware. Fantastic playing there by Centerville.
So we will sit tight as Centerville and West Delaware prepare for game 2, right? This is a best-of-3 series, so it is not over yet, folks. Both teams are going to get a chance to get a timeout, talk to coach, kind of figure out what their game plan is for game 2. And as we go into game 2, we are going to be switching up maps to Clubhouse. So what can you guys tell us about the next map that we will see here with the Clubhouse pick?
Clubhouse is quite an interesting map with it having its own dedicated garage area, which is a high point. Oh, and we do hear audio from the teams here. And we do have on Clubhouse, we do have the garage, which is a big point of entry. If you control garage, you basically control all the entry points.
Exactly, I was about to say, garage is definitely a key part that you need to have. Because if you have garage, like you said, you can win that round very easily.
Now this map as well has a very big basement area which has a little dugout that you can take. And that dugout can really dictate if you win the round or not.
Sorry, it looks like they're going to switch sides here.
Yeah, it does seem that Centerville will switch to defense first, while we have West Delaware on attack.
And so what we see here, game 1 to game 2, you do flip from attack to defense, so both teams get a chance to start on both sides. Now, if we do see a game 3, the home team's coach will conduct a coin flip, and that will determine whether they start as the attacking team or as the defending team.
Now that's quite interesting. I haven't seen coin flips being used in Rainbow Six Siege before.
Absolutely. Now, some leagues will give map preference to the losing side. So let's say that Centerville loses game 2 and we go into a game 3 situation. Sometimes you will see map preference given to the team that just lost, but in our league here, we see that it is down to a coin flip.
Now Clubhouse also has an interesting upstairs, as there's one half of the map is like a bedroom gym area, and the other half is the garage and a CCTV room. And that CCTV room does have an integral wall which can dictate the entire turn of events in the game.
A little bit of scenario here. So let's say that you are West Delaware. You just lost that 6-0. What do you change up here? It seemed like they were giving everything they had at that one round, having traps everywhere, but it just could not pan out for them. What do you do here?
Now I think what they could be doing here, prepare for a stronger attack strategy. I think if they are a little bit more aggressive, they could get more of those kills off.
You bet, right? Games can be lost or won by any number of factors here. So switching to attack, we'll see if they can open with a stronger attack, right? They just got to shake off the bad vibes from game 1. Any game is different, so go into game 2 strong. Let's see what the bans are. What do you guys anticipate for bans on this one?
I'm thinking a lot of wall denial and hard breaching options.
So we're going to see Thatch off the board again, you think?
Perhaps.
I'm thinking Thatcher right off the bat.
Yeah. I would be surprised if he stays in the game.
Habana, definitely another one. I
There
think.
he
And there
is.
is
And
Thatcher.
Thatcher is
Alright.
gone.
Now we could see some more. We could be maybe seeing a Maverick ban here. We could be seeing a Habana ban. Habana's really good here.
I think since West Delaware is on attack first, they will have 5 rounds themselves. They might not want to ban any of the hard breachers.
That's true. That's true. Ooh, they banned
Fuse.
Now, since they are going to be attacking first, they probably will get rid of wall denial. You will have bandits or kite to get rid of.
Yeah. Again, I'd be very surprised if Kai makes it through the round. There it
Get rid
is.
of kite.
All right, now Centerville. Who do they ban?
Centerville, if they want to be really cheeky about it, they could get rid of bandit as well. But
Maybe mute is the only option.
then mute would be the only option there.
I don't think they'll do that, but let's see.
They get rid of
Capcan.
Capcan.
Yep.
Now this map has a lot of interesting tight door turns, so I think that Capcan would be a good ban here.
We are seeing a gym bedroom as the first site. Not typical on
Looks like
Clubhouse.
they are
They
still
switched to
changing it.
CISO.
though.
Oh, church. They
Basement
are
setup.
seeming to be undecided here. And they are deciding fully on church arsenal room. Now church is a heavy area that they would need the hold, as well as the little dugout in arsenal room. The dugout can really determine the tides of the game.
Definitely. And the basement of Clubhouse is such a hard site to defend because you have attackers that can come from 4, 5, 6 different places at once if they have a coordinated push.
That is true. As you can see, we do have what it seems to be church getting reinforced first, and we're having some little fun playtime in the church
They
room.
were like psyching themselves up, right? They were like,
Yep.
we got this.
And they do have alibi in play, which was banned before.
No, Centerville was the team that was 5-1. So they're definitely showing here why they are 5-1. Because they that quick wipe of game 1, that 6-0. West Delaware definitely, I think, still can come back here. Just needs to find top of lane talk. What did we do wrong there? What can we fix? And then find a way to fix it.
You bet. And one of the things we see there, the castle on the Centerville, he was very late in the round putting up those castle barricades. We're in actual game phase, and he's just now putting up the 3rd barricade.
Now, Castle is an interesting pick.
Immediately went for taking out those default cams. So the less cameras that the opponent has, the better.
Now, Castle, he can be really helpful to hold off the enemy from pushing hard. But what could be helpful are soft breachers here, which we do not have. We do have one, Zofia here.
And it looks like our attackers here were almost preparing for a garage take, but garage isn't really going to be reinforced with them taking the basement site. Do we know if the attackers found out that they were in basement?
I do not know
I
here.
believe they did not.
Now, if the attacking team doesn't even know where the defenders are at, that is going to be bad for attackers because this is all about time, right? And if they have to spend the first minute and a half of the round figuring out where the defenders are at, they have no time to get their job done.
So we have Zofia going for a garage hold there, which is quite interesting as garage can be a big churning point. Going through the little oil pit down below can really have a good push through the blue hallway.
We do see attack bringing my favorite attacking up, Nomad. Nomad's excellent for flank watching, which means she can place a gadget on a stairwell or a doorway. And if the enemy tries to go through it, they will get blasted back, which gives an audio cue to the attacking team. And it also puts that person on their back for a second, meaning that if you are close by, you can confirm a kill very easily.
Now, a default push for basement would be a 2-2-1 push. 2 would usually go garage, I'm pretty sure. 2 more would go through the little dugout, and 1 more through main stairs or blue. Seems like they wanted to go blue there, but got a little nervous maybe. Wanted
And-
main stairs.
And there is the first kill right there by West Delaware.
West Delaware does take out Cab there. No more roaming ops, it seems.
And we do see West Delaware going for the kitchen push. Kitchen is such a crucial
2
room
more
for
by
this
West
site.
Delaware. West Delaware really turning this game
Oh my
around for
goodness.
them.
All it takes is 1 round, right? Again, that momentum swing. Now, if you're West Delaware, you're in the situation, first time in the match, you are up. This is your round to win. How do you play it here?
Play it safe, drone out. Always use your drones, get those out so your team can have intel when any of them drop.
And ideally, they need to get Diffuser down. They only have 24 seconds. They need to create that opponent, or that pressure on their opponents.
But
As
see,
Centerville
West Delaware
gets kill.
just located the bomb with, it was like 25 seconds left. So that really is not looking good for you. Now having 10 seconds to do something now. This is a 3v1. Centerville
Alright.
needs to place the bomb right now. And
They've got to get the bomb or the pick.
West Delaware needs to be aggressive here.
Oh,
Ah,
They don't get the
they
plant.
Don't quite get in there. Their defender's able to hold Saw off site just long enough to prevent that plant.
Seems like Arsenal room was completely open. The plant's in though.
And this is a good. West Delaware loses this round, but they played clean here. This is their comeback, right? If they're going to make a play here, they now have a little bit of momentum. They realize, hey, we can take these rounds off Centerville, and so we'll see what happens here with
We have
this
a gym
bedroom.
bedroom hold here. Now they're going to want to go for wall denial, as there is another outside access point through a wall to the hallway that leads to gym bedroom.
Centerville, you saw that one, definitely showing that they were down just one person. So they decided, all right, we're not going to play aggressive this time. We're going to sit back and make them come to me. And it played off for them. But as you saw, that West Delaware definitely showed they have the skill to beat Centerville. They just didn't have enough time to do it.
Exactly. Had they identified they were in basement long before they did, I think that was West Delaware's round.
Now what we have here, it seems like they might be using a nitro cell to open up walls. Alright, so we will be in action phase now. They do have the bandits on the wall, the bandit traps there on the wall. Now we do have Nomad again. Flank Watch is insanely helpful here. We do have Mira in use, which we were talking about in the previous game where Mira was banned. Now we could see some interesting plays as they do put the Mira on an unreinforced wall.
Not sure if that's the move there, because Mirror's traps are very helpful where you can see them, but the opponent can't see it through. It's just a black wall for them. But it wasn't reinforced, so they could just destroy that wall, destroying the trap as well.
West Delaware is trying to get rid of the outside wall that leads straight into the hallway. But it seems like they have Bandit tricking the wall.
So if Bandit's on the wall, what are their options to breach that wall with the setup that they have? Can they do it?
If they take a path right up the main stairs, they could take out the Bandit before he has a chance to get that and get more people in. Or they could have another operator, such as like Flores, keeping him off the wall.
Absolutely. And they do have a Zofia who can sometimes get those charges from below, but I think the floor on the other side is hard. They will not be able to blow those up from the bottom.
It seems like they won't, as Centerville gets a kill on West Delaware.
Two of them.
Two of them.
Ooh, that Rook was down, and he is all the way back up.
And they did get the wall open, it seems.
So I wonder if they did exactly what you mentioned, Prologue, where they got those bandits off the wall from the stairs.
As Centerville gets another pick on West Delaware.
West Delaware needs to change something up soon, because it is not looking good for them. They have those little hopes that they can do something, and then Centerville capitalizes on it, and then shuts down everything that they keep trying to do.
You have call-outs
Still
on
looking
where
pick.
the
They got it.
is.
Here's that momentum you need.
Yep, they still got a whole minute to go. You need to be calm about this.
It's another
Cool-headed.
defender down.
So maybe they can turn this around here. They definitely looking like they figured out like, hey, we are down. We're attacked, so we need to get it moving, but let's not push it. Still having those 35 seconds.
Now it seems like he did get all those hits on Doc, but Doc could heal them all right back up after a recent buff. And they do take out Mira.
So now we are evened back out.
And we did see Blackbeard use both of his shields there. It did save him from 2 otherwise fatal headshots, but he has no shields left to help his push.
We only have 10 seconds to get in here.
Oh,
It's a 1v1
It's a
with
1v1.
6 seconds left now. Centerville needs
Oh,
to
he's
get in there.
trapped in that room.
Now,
He's got the ability. He knows he can do it, but he has
And
to get
Centerville
out of
will
the
get the
room.
last second kill there.
That was
Yeah.
very smart play from Centerville. They knew where Blackbeard was at. They knew he had to get out of there, so they just waited for him to walk through the door.
I think the little issue there was that Centerville should not have gone for that kill, though, as I could have bit them in the back.
So you think Centerville should have went and then got the plant there? Or no, waited for him to get the plant there?
Yeah, they should have hid and waited for them to see if they were going to plant or not, and then push.
I definitely gonna have to disagree with that. I think Centerville did the right thing. He stayed there, waited there, because he knew he was coming across that castle wall, and then got the easy kill there. And he could have waited that couple more seconds to win the round by the time of running out, but definitely up your stats a little bit. Get that easy kill.
Now we do have an Echo in play, which is a new character that has not been used yet, as they are on CCTV. The most protective sight that you need to have in this game, as CCTV has so many entrance points to get on. But if you win it good.
As you see, Bandit is using two of his little abilities that are on the wall, electrifying those fortified walls.
Member schools, we do have a raffle for a few products that have been given to us.
10 seconds left.
That's
This
nuts.
raffle, so we're going to
5 seconds left before insertion. Attack.
make sure
We're
they
muted.
come up here. We
Oh,
got
we're
some
back.
prizes, including some,
So we are in the action
lumber
phase
pillows,
here.
Some tote bags, some plushies, a whole bunch of different stuff. So we'll pull a few now. And
Nice
we'll pull
little
a few after the next
watching
game.
these different
and all that fun
points
stuff.
there,
So,
watching all the different
first
sides.
person
This is
the
nice.
Andrew
But it looks like
Pickett.
Centerville will get a team kill.
Now we do have West Delaware setting up here, having Maverick open up the wall. As Maverick is quite an interesting character, he might not be able to get hit or electrocuted while he opens up that wall. And we get another kill on Centerville here.
Now, we did this see before, but it was West Delaware had that little team kill and then immediately got one taken out. Now, can West Delaware win their first round of the game here by capitalizing on now having the 5-3 lead?
Now it seems like Maverick is going for little feet shots here so that they can open up the full wall. The wall does get successfully open. Now they do want to watch that garage just in case there's somebody in there, as those rafters are a heavy gunfire point. And another kill on Centerville. Now it seems like Centerville might be panicking now, as they aren't actually on the on CCTV site.
John Shelton.
And they do enter CCTV. Ooh, and Centerville gets a kill on West Delaware.
We'll see, can they get these a couple more kills to even this back up? If not, try to take out the whole other team. Or will West Delaware find a way to capitalize? It is 4v1 now. So West Delaware definitely has a chance here to win their first round of the game.
Now all they need to do is get it planted and wait for him to come to them. As they
They
are
are.
planning now. And West,
West
Delaware,
Delaware
wins.
their first round of the game.
Now this could be the turning point for West Delaware.
Absolutely. If you win this as West Delaware, this is a huge round, right? The momentum is finally shifting in your favor, and they made that attack round look good. That was a clean, coordinated attack on CCTV.
Could this be the turning point though, that West Delaware desperately needs? They need to find a way to turn around and get the win here. We'll see if they can.
Next up, we have Alex Ennis.
So we do have any new operator picks here? It doesn't seem so. We do have very similar setups to last few rounds.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
As
So
they
just-
are holding the downstairs Arsenal and Church.
So we actually had one of our team members here go and ask West Delaware just a few questions. We asked WD and asked, what is some of your strengths? And he said his strengths were calm and teamwork. That they think that their comms and their teamwork is a really good strength for him. And his weakness is coordination and flanking. I have seen a lot of coordination be their weakness here. I don't know how their communication works, but their teamwork.
seconds to
So
go.
definitely team-wise, teamwork. It's there a little bit, but they definitely seems like they all want to go off and do their own thing.
Now, as we are in the action phase, getting the default cams here, watching for spawn peaks.
They definitely are. As you see, watching that door, that there actually is someone behind them. It looks like they ran away from the door there.
West Delaware, ooh, and they down Cav as they take out Cav.
West Delaware definitely, as Coach Roblox was saying before, that it takes one round to change the momentum. And it definitely looks like the West Delaware is now feeling themselves a little bit, really thinking they can do it, because now they are playing great together. They said that one of their strengths are teamwork, and it definitely is looking like it now.
And a little bit of the back end here. The match did start a little bit late because we had some tech issues with one of the computers, and those were the West Delaware machines. The game wasn't all the way installed, and so even something like that's out of your control, it can throw a little bit of a funk into the game, right? It can throw you off just a little bit. But now they're in there, they're warmed up, they're playing. Let's see if they can take another round.
But you see, Centerville does tie it back up. Now it's at 4-4.
They're trying to get these hatches open and get into sight now. Because it seems like we do have a gunfight going from the hatch in the blue hallway. Ying throwing in her flashes as well. They're really trying to take the blue hallway here. Now, seems like a little gunfight has broken out there. And Ying's coming across here. It's taken out. Defuse is dropped in the blue hallway.
Giving Centerville that lead once again.
All right, last winner for this round is Carter McLaughlin.
This is definitely going to be a close game. The first game, not really that close, but this one is, I feel like this is going to be a back and forth battle.
All right, guys, we'll have
Absolutely, and the crazy thing about that pick there, right, was not only does that give the Centerville team a 4v3, they also drop defuse at the same time, which is huge.
The Centerville now capitalizing on that. They know, hey, we beat this team 6-0, and then now we're up 2-1. Let's get this here. Let's win this round 4, giving us that 3-1 lead.
Now, as we've seen, we've had many moments where West Delaware has almost come back from a clutch as Centerville gets the kill. Centerville wins the 4th round of the game.
Nice playing by Centerville. The whole game they really have the fantastic teamwork. They just know what they're doing, and they do it time and time again.
Now, as we've seen, the first appearance of Ace, or they switch back to Maverick here. Maverick has been a very helpful, and to Sledge. We're all over the board here right now. But we do have Ace again. Ace is a very helpful hard breacher as well. He did have 3 explosives on 1 charge, but now it's down to 2, which still opens up a wide enough window to hop into a site.
And we are seeing that elite skin on the Sledge. Now, generally the rules state that you must be playing on default skins, but they also have a gentleman's agreement in the league where if both schools are fine with the skin, then skins are fine. So, you got that elite Sledge skin. Sometimes you just gotta flex it.
Yeah, the elite skins are really cool in this game. They are around $15, so it can really steer people away, but they are fun to have.
Definitely, especially if it's elite skin for the best operator in the game, Sledge.
There is, isn't there?
Attackers have located a bomb. 10 seconds
Seems
left.
We're seeing
like-
those castle barricades coming up a little bit earlier than last time.
5 seconds to insertion.
We're getting the Valve cams down now. They're gonna want to watch those hallways as if West Delaware opens up the wall.
So
we
we
are in
did
the
see
action phase.
they shot down the clock. Is that something that you should do there? Or did they do that just for fun?
I think they did it just to get it out of the way so they can plan a cam.
That could be.
Could be keeping that aim warm, right? Shoot the cups, shoot the clock, shoot the jukebox, the radio. You always shoot the radio.
And we do see a spawn peak going off here. As West Delaware has Sledge low
And Sledge
and
is out.
Sledge's out. Successful spawn peak. Now it seems like Centerville might be panicking a little. They do want to keep their cool and stay in the spots that they're holding.
we see West Delaware going with a split push here. Someone trying to enter garage, while we see at least 2 up on the roof. And then Ying right outside gym window.
And we do have someone in cash room, which is almost directly leading into the construction room.
So Doc was almost dead there, but then he used the stim there. And West Delaware really turning this game around, though.
Seems like they're taking out Doc's health as well.
Are tied back at 3.
And Doc picks himself back up to full health. Getting wall bang though, or shot into the foot. And they get a triple kill. West Delaware could possibly take this round here. As they even it back up, Centerville does not want to lose this round.
We got a 2v2 here. Y is warmed up, they're hot. Ooh, but they're down.
Centerville's planning, or
Looks like West Delaware was planning, but he
Or West
decided
Delaware.
he stopped, backed out. He says there's someone in there, and Centerville will win round 5, having that 3-1, no 4-1 lead now.
that is true. In Centerville, if they are, well, they're switching the defense now, and as we saw, this is where they really shined last game. So I wonder if they'll keep that the same.
You know, again, this is a lot of these maps. It seems like if you've done a little bit of practice, then the defenses are a bit more coordinated and easier than some of the attacks. And so again, we can definitely see West Delaware pull something amazing out with these defense rounds. And they are going CCTV, which you typically see pretty often as the first defense site chosen.
Now we have Jackal in play now. As we saw, Jackal was banned last game,
Attackers need to locate
and Jackal is quite helpful to ping the enemy.
West Delaware is showing that they have more and more hope that they can win it. But let's not forget that Centerville last time on attack 5-0'd West Delaware. So West Delaware needs, I keep saying, they need to change something, or Centerville, look, they could win it in the next 2 rounds.
Now we do see CC was lost by Centerville when they had it last time. So I wonder if they can get a successful push.
Now Centerville knows they're playing in CCTV.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
We'll see what kind of push they go with. We have the Echo drone up in B site, ready to stop a plant going down in the default spot.
Now I don't think Centerville has more than one hard breacher here, which might prove to be a problem if they run out of their 2 thermite charges.
And do they have any way of dealing with Bandit's electricity right now?
They do not at all. So if there is even a single slight bit of electricity, they can't deal with it, besides maybe Sledge's grenades.
Yeah, they could possibly frag from below.
Now Sledge's grenades can also help pick off enemies in tight corners without having to actually get into a gunfight.
Ooh, near TK there.
It looked like that they were trying to like tell each other, hey, you go in, and they're like, no, you go in, and then it almost ended. So like you said, that TK there. Centerville getting those 3 picks back to back to back to back.
Oh,
So
no.
1v5. Just who left?
Oh, and there's a 1v4.
West Des Moines can take this back. It'll really bring up the morale. West Delaware, sorry.
All right, so we are now in a very dire situation, right? West Delaware has to win these rounds or they are losing this game.
Now
But
I
they
think
would go to the losing bracket, correct?
Correct. This is a double elimination tournament. So if West Delaware goes out here, I don't believe they're out for the tournament. Now, we did see a little bit of delay in round 1 getting started with the tech issues with the computers. One of the things you will commonly see in a tournament situation, if we're getting pressed for time, is you may cut some of those loser bracket matches. So I don't want to say they're out. I don't want to say they're in. We have to see what the tournament organizers decide in terms of whether they're going to play those loser bracket matches later in the day or if they're going to cut those for time with some of the tech delays that we had. So this is a really important round for West Delaware either way.
Well, the for sure thing that would happen, if Centerville does win this round, Centerville will win the whole game.
now getting into the gym hallway might prove to be a little hard here, since they still also only have 1 hard breach.
It seemed to play off for him last time. Don't change anything up. Just keep going with it. And you see how this pans out.
As Sledge switches to Twitch,
Attackers are moving.
which is quite interesting. He might be trying to get rid of the bandit traps.
Shoots the radio there.
Well, Mira seems to be surveying the wall, while Bandit is shocking other walls. We do have a blitz in play, which is quite an interesting play because this is the first time we've seen attack with a shield, as he does get a pick on West Delaware. And Bandit is next to go down.
Ooh, and we see the Jackal Prince. Oh, they did see the Jackal track, but then immediately got killed.
So it looks like West Delaware has tied this back up just like that.
Absolutely. Who came
Now
around with that
taking the lead.
shotgun and leveled both of them on the main stairs?
Now, as we saw, that was a really nice flank. He's trying to smoke off the whole hallway, suppress the enemy.
Right back up.
West
Nope.
Delaware's
Great
not
guy.
out of this yet. They are fighting with everything they have to stay in this game. Do they know where the thermite is? Ooh,
Now,
and they are held up in the same room.
they are. They might want to change up angles here to get crossfire here.
So Centerville, they do need to plant, but they still have all the time in the world right now, so they can still.
Now, here's the thing. They're in the same room. They could get the trade. Here comes the thermite.
And they get him.
Oh!
And they do get the kill.
West Delaware
West
will
Delaware
not let
says,
this
we
go
are not out
down.
of this fight yet. Let's go.
As we now go on to the next round, will be round 8.
Now, if West Delaware can take this energy into the next few rounds, we could see a big turnaround.
Some excellent play there from their smoke player. Getting that 2K from behind the stairs, using those smokes to cut off the diffuser.
And now we see Tachanka in play for the first time, and Aruni. Now, do you like Tachanka, Goat?
I think he's a character that I think he takes a little more skill to use. He's not one that, not to diss on Sledge or anything. He's yeah, you can throw in first time playing, you can use Sledge. Tachanka's more of one that it might take a little more time of play to get used to him. So if you can use Tachanka well, he's definitely a good character to use.
Now, Aruni is a very big wall and doorway denial character. And she has the added benefit of being able to punch open holes in walls that are massive size. They're getting these feed holes here, which will give them better sight on the enemies that are walking through the hall without them being spotted themselves.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds to go. Attackers must
We are
locate
on to
and
the
defuse
action
the bomb.
phase. 2 hard breachers here for Centerville.
Right, they're bringing both Thermite and Habana. Very, very common pick for this map. And it looks like we are going to see them try for a kitchen push.
And going through kitchen, they will be able to open up that hatch, which will give them full sightline in the arsenal room, which can lead to multiple kills going down.
Centerville seems to, maybe they're not, something's fallen, something's not working for them anymore, because they had that, they won those 6 attack rounds first, and then they won that defensive round. But this game, they seem to maybe, they got a little too cocky, thinking, all right, we can beat this team again, because they definitely are starting to play a little more sloppy. So wonder, do they go back to the same tactics that before, with going that straight attack, rushing everything, or do they stick with what they're doing, playing a little more less
Bomb
defensive?
located by attackers.
Now we see that Aruni is holding off the hatch with her barrier.
And we see that Ash up in kitchen. Hatch is open. She wants to get a pick off somebody that's down there in Arsenal or in Church.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Now, as we see, West Delaware does get a kill off of Centerville.
Oh, we got a trade there.
Oh, it's so now 4-3. West Delaware in the lead now. It really changed around, and now it is tied
Ash
right back
finally
up.
gets her pick.
Now, what they want to do here is not be as Centerville does not want to be as aggressive on those hatches, as that can lead to their downfall.
Centerville giving them that lead now.
Lauren James to the esports arena, please. Lauren to the esports arena.
Jacko gets a ping on Mira, knowing
Now it's a
exactly where Mira will
1v3.
be.
And that'll be it. Centerville will win round 8, winning the second game, helping them win the match. Centerville will move on.
All right. So we are going to see Centerville advance forward in the bracket. West Delaware will take a trip to the consolation bracket, and we will be back soon with our next match. So stick around, folks. Thanks for watching.